Hey guys, Amber here. I'm flying solo today. Rustin's out fishing. I recently was purging some old items that I no longer wanted, and some were books. I went through a couple of self-help books that I had had over the years, probably 15 years ago, and I thought, okay, well, I'll just dump them because they've all been written in. And then a really, really special friend of mine, she said, why don't you record yourself on video, kind of reading some of the thoughts that you had back then, right? I know some of you don't know us completely, or where we've been, but these are some thoughts that I had in the past. And as I can now see with reading them, the ways in which that I was living my life was in complete direction or complete result from the direction that I was thinking in my head. Because it all goes down in your head, right? We cannot conceive an idea, we cannot go forward with an idea without having a certain belief or a certain thought in our head, right? Um, so these are just some thoughts that I was having. And again, this was probably over 15 years ago. Um, the question is, how would being true to yourself change your life? And I wrote, it would make my life easier to handle, less stressful, and less depressing. I would find better friends and be a better friend. Now, again, that's just something that I was thinking in my head. So I was already not thinking I was a good friend. I was already thinking that my life was stressful and my life was depressing. Um, so I wasn't really finding a way out for myself. I just kept recycling the same thoughts. Um, Something else. It says, in what area of your life do you have a hard time giving yourself credit? And I wrote, being a good mom. So obviously the thoughts that I was recycling in that moment was that I'm not a good mom. For those of you who don't know, I was a young mom. I was about 19. I gave birth to my daughter. I think it was about 3 weeks after I turned 20. So I was still pretty young. And I was a single mom. So I was by myself for about 8 years, raising her. And obviously there are some thoughts behind that. In what area would you like to acknowledge yourself more? Being responsible with Taylor, with my daughter, right? So I obviously didn't feel that way. So it all goes down in here. And yes, my bookmarks are Pokemon cards. If you guys don't know, we have two boys. But this is just what is scary about passion. People might not approve, right? So I was completely in fear. I was not able to move forward with anything. Name three things that you fear would happen if you were more passionate. Others would look down, no support, and I would fail. So I didn't take any chances because of the fear of failing, right? So this is all happening. What excuses do you make up when things don't go your way? Life sucks and I'm meant to be unhappy. So at the moment, those are the words that were replaying in my mind. Life sucks and I'm meant to be unhappy. Let's see. There's some other things. Write down what compliments would make a difference in your life. You're beautiful on the inside. You're smart. You're beautiful on the outside. A good mom. Number 3, you're a great mom. So these are, and it's funny because I have changed so much. I not only do I not resonate with any of this, but it also is hard to even remember a time when I felt this way. So being beautiful on the outside / smart. So I guess I attributed being smart as beauty. Beautiful on the outside with a good mom. I'm not sure how those two line up because you can be a good mom and not beautiful, right? But this is what I'm talking about. Is just these are things that I was thinking, and it all comes down to worthiness, and it doesn't have anything to do with other people. But I thought it did. I really thought it did. My beliefs on being a single mom, even just the sheer culture of it, right? I was a young single mom. That in itself holds weight, right? If you choose to let it hold weight. And then moving forward with how I thought what that should look like, and I didn't meet up with that idea. Because we always have a concept of what something should look like. Um, you know, so a good mom, my concept up here is, I make a certain amount of money, I look a certain way, I do a certain thing, I, treat her a certain way. So anytime that I was not meeting up with that, then now I'm failing. And failure is literally a concept in your mind. Um, we just actually had this conversation with our boys last night. Um, he was talking about a game and he was like, I lost. I was like, well, let's dissect that word, right? Like, you lost. What does that mean? You didn't beat the level, you didn't win the level in the game, right? But what if you simply didn't win to show your brother that he could win? Or what if you didn't, quote, win because, that means that you get to play it again, right? And you get to have that same experience, right? So everything that goes down in our life, like it goes down in our mind. So he felt a certain way about the game and he was upset because he thought in his head that he had lost and that meant a certain thing to him. um so yeah, I wanted to share this with people. And I know there's a lot of concepts behind being a mom, being a parent in general, really, on what it should look like. So if today you do nothing else but just maybe look at that and shift the narrative, change how you thought, or change what you could be thinking. Because in reality, we're all just we're all souls, right? We're all souls and we're all beautiful in our own way, however that looks. So if you're thinking a certain way about you as a parent, look at it differently, right? You chose to give life to something beautiful, and they're thriving and they're doing well, and they're growing. I mean, it's such a beautiful, beautiful experience. So, since Rustin is not here, I will end with my hashtag, which is love yourself today.